Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to JNC Podcast, the second episode, second season is what I'll call it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, a very, very important show today. We're going to give our predictions, go through the schedules of the Jets and the Giants to see the matchups, what it looks like on paper. Obviously, as you can tell from last year, teams are gonna win a game that you probably don't think they're gonna win, and they're probably gonna lose a game you think they should have won. There's gonna be a lot of crazy ups and downs. We don't know injuries. We don't know the future. We're gonna predict everything just with what they have right now. Maybe what it looks like, and maybe they get better. Maybe they get worse. Hopefully for the better. But before we get into all that, let's introduce the other two stars of the show here, Chris and C. How you guys doing? Welcome. Good afternoon.
Good
What's good?
afternoon. It feels like good evening.
That's true.
It is a good even, yes, because he took so long to join. All the internet problems was going on. Really,
Yeah, sorry. I'm not very tech friendly, so
yeah, I got you
that's
there,
where
brother.
it is.
All right. Well, before we get into all the schedules and our predictions, I'm gonna write down everything of all the wins and losses that we choose, and we'll see how we have the season record for the Jets and the Giants. Hopefully, it's not a bad record. But before we get into that, let's get into some news, fantasy news, relevance, and just news in general of football. So we'll start off with we'll start with the first report that I got right here. Is Packers wide receiver Romeo Dobbs has seemingly become quarterback Jordan Love's go to guy. So that's just a report now. Things are gonna change. Training camp is just starting. So if Romeo Dobbs, it's just crazy right now. Quick question, since we're talking about Romeo Dobbs, who are you rather having a team going into your fantasy roster, Romeo Dobbs or Christian Watson?
Watson. Watson.
Yeah,
One
probably
hundred percent.
Christian Watson. Yeah.
Probably Watson. Yeah, I probably would agree there, but we'll see. Nothing too crazy about the report. Another report that is kind of a little hype, but it's a good person to talk about. A good second year name. Excuse me. Titans wide receiver Traylon Burks is playing at a different speed. Um, and he looks very like a noticeable leader to lean on this season, this off season is what it looks like. Thoughts on Traylon Burks? Is anybody excited? I think he I think he's gonna be the number one on a run based offense. So I guess it's not bad, but I just want to hear your thoughts. What's your thoughts on Traylon Burks?
He's a good talent. I think he's a really solid receiver, but it's unfortunate that he's not on a very good team with a quarterback who's going to give him a lot of looks. With a running back who takes a lot of the snap, a lot of the load. So, maybe on a different team, it'll be a different conversation. As of right now, I'm not really high on him. You know.
What do you think?
Yeah, the upside is his talent. I mean,
Yeah,
you can bet on the talent. Um, but I've said this before, the talent could be up through the roof, but if the team surrounding you is not gonna benefit your talent, then it's a coin toss. So you can
yeah,
get them, and it'll be great, or you can get them and it can be a bust. But you know that it's a coin toss, so it's not gonna be a surprise either way.
yeah. I mean, like you said, they every year in fantasy, there's always a second year stud that didn't have a good year and then he explodes. He could be one of those candidates. He really can be. He could be one of those people that got injured and then wasn't really involved as much with Tannehill being hurt, and then the backup coming in that I forgot his name, Malik Willis. No, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
he didn't show no signs of throwing the ball well. So maybe with Tannehill, maybe this is going to be a breakout season. It can't be any worse than last year because he really is talented. So a good name to probably think about that could be a breakout. That's probably low in ADP right now. Nothing to talk about. Josh Jacobs could hold out week one. At this point, if there's no long term deal, I don't anticipate Josh Jacobs being there at the start of training camp, and I don't know that he shows up week one, according to the beat report. So, Josh Jacobs is in the same predicament as Saquon Barkley. So we talked about Barkley. I do think the Barkley deal is going to get done, but it does seem like there's a lot going on with Josh Jacobs and Barkley. So, how do we feel? If people are drafting right now in their leagues, how confident are you in drafting Josh Jacobs and Barkley, who ADPs are really high? Are we confident they're going to be ready for week one? and have their deals done, or are we a little nervous right now?
Um, I think I'm confident more on Barkley, not so much on Jacobs. But like you said, pretty sure Barkley's gonna get a deal done. Jacobs is a little iffy. Especially after breakout season yet. But I guess it's like, they're just waiting to see what other running back get,
Yeah,
It,
so
you
they're
know,
they're
especially
waiting
with
till
Dalvin
July.
Cook talk and all that.
Yeah, they're waiting for July 17th. So July 17th is when.
Yeah.
So Josh Jacobs and Barkley are both got the franchise tag, and they have until July 17th to sign that deal. So they have all the way up to that point to do an extension. So they're gonna keep going back and forth. It's gonna go down to the wire. Daniel Jones got his deal, I believe, within a day prior to the franchise tag deadline, and that's when they ended up franchising Barkley. See, what do you think about these two running backs? Are you confident they're both gonna start and be ready for week one? We're waiting for their deals.
I gotta agree with Chris on that with Barkley. I do think the deal is coming. I'm not too as a Giants fan, you would think that I'm like get Barkley already, like sign him, like he needs that. I mean, we all know the value and where the market is. It's all wide receiver and it's not really running backs anymore. You can get a running back that gives you good productions anywhere. So, but when it comes to these two running backs, who's more likely to get their contract is going to be Saquon. Yeah, he had a great year, but that was one great year. Josh Jacobs, everything else
Mhm.
wasn't that year. So, we got to see with Josh Jacobs. I'm not as confident with him.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. And then you gotta look at the circumstances. Barkley is the face of the team. He's a leader of the locker room. People look up to him.
Captain.
Jacobs is not. He's not that same person as Barkley. So I think if Barkley doesn't get the deal he wants, he has to sign the franchise tag. I do believe that that Barkley is still gonna play. Josh Jacobs, like we said, if he doesn't get the franchise tag, then there's a possibility he might actually wait a couple weeks. He might wait it out. So that's pretty scary. But I still would think with confidence that they're both will get their deals done. I think Josh Jacobs and Barkley are actually waiting for each other to see who gets what, and, and then they use that to their advantage. So let's move on. The Miami Dolphins has offered Dalvin Cook a contract. Dalvin Cook is reportedly weighing in multiple offers. So what I'm getting from this information here is that it looks like Miami didn't offer him a big deal, because if Dalvin Cook wanted to go to Miami, the deal they would have gave him, he probably would have just took it. So the fact that he's waiting, it means that he's very close to signing with other teams, and he's waiting to see. Right now, my contacts, my information, my all my digging that I'm doing is that Diggs is down to three teams, and it is of course in the Jets division. It's the Jets, Miami, and the Patriots. The Patriots got into this loop because of DeAndre Hopkins, who looks like he's leaning towards signing with um, New England or the Titans. And Hopkins and Cooks want to play together, so there's a lot to dig in there. Um, I do think, if not my biased opinion, is what that I'm finding and how it seems. It looks like the Jets have a little bit of advantage of getting Dalvin Cook. They just got to sign Quinn Williams first and see how much they can give Cook. But Miami, the report is Miami did offer Dalvin Cook a contract. So I'll ask you guys thoughts and opinions, fantasy wise and just football wise, about this whole thing between the Jets, Miami, and the Patriots. Where do you think is best fit for him?
I think the best fit would be Miami. Obviously, I think um, you have a great young quarterback. You have great wide receivers. You got a great head coach. You just got a great team who's on the up, and I think they're probably just like a few pieces, but getting a veteran running back like Cook would be great. I think I don't know, like you said, depending on what the Jets have left after signing who they need to sign and everything, I think he does eventually go to Miami because let's say he really wants to. Well, he's it made it seem like he really wanted to be in Miami. So I guess like you said, he's just feeling out the offers. And if the other ones are not as strong as Miami, he'll just say screw it and go to Miami. But I think that's the best fit for him.
How about you, see?
I think Miami and the Jets are both of the attractive choices if he's looking for a competitive team. When it comes to the Patriots, not.
That would be kind of annoying though. If they get Hopkins and Cooks out of nowhere,
Yeah,
now
I
it's
mean,
you have Cooks, Ramondre Stevenson, and then Hopkins, and then Juju Smith, Deontay Parker. Now you're talking about this division. Like everyone thought New England would be last, and now if they do these guys, now it's really now Rogers is gonna have to just go to old Rogers and
he's
just
gonna
tap
have to
into
be
that.
MVP
So
Rogers. Yeah.
it's pretty crazy, but um I think Dalvin Cook should come to the Jets. No
Of course,
bias there,
it's
and
no.
not a single bias
It's
there.
it's
But
all analytics.
but the best thing for the Jets is to get Dalvin Cook. The Jets need him more than Dalvin Cook needs the Jets because Brees Hall, which the report right here is that I think Brees Hall is going to be ready for the start of the season, but I wouldn't guarantee he plays week one. Okay, if Brees, this signing needs to be done. You have Aaron Rodgers for 2 years max, and you need to win now. All the moves you just did, you need to win now.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook to come in now to be your head horse, then have Brees Hall slowly come back. By the time you have playoffs, you have probably the best running back duo in the league, and you have so many other weapons around there. Your play action, your pass, your run, everything is going to be amplified if you get Dalvin Cook. So the Jets need him more than he needs us. So whatever Miami's offered him, the Jets need to put up $3 to $4 million more just because of the state tax. Miami can say I'll give you 8 million. The Jets say I'll give you 10. He's gonna say with the state tax, I'm gonna still get 8 million. So I'm just going to Miami. So he's really playing this deal pretty well. And especially knowing the fact that if you don't get him, that he goes to your division makes it even harder. Because like you said, if he goes to Miami, I don't know. I don't know
Who's
how you
stopping
don't
that
put
team?
Miami as the number 2 team
Who's
behind the
stopping that team?
Bills. I don't know how you don't put them. But if the Jets get Dalvin Cook, now it's I don't know how you put the Jets below 2. So it's very crazy, very interesting stuff there. Um, and just like how I said about Devontae Parker, the New England Patriots signed Parker to a 3-year deal worth to 33 million, but 14 million guaranteed. When I first saw this deal, I thought that meant they weren't getting Hopkins. But when I read into it, all it did was make it better because now they extended him. They
Mhm.
moved back the cap, open up more cap room to get DeAndre. So it does look like DeAndre will land there, but as of right now, we don't know. My question about Hopkins, if he goes to Tennessee or New England, because those are the 2 teams looks like they're gonna get him. Where is the hype for him? Are we more excited about Tannehill, Mac Jones? Like, where are we? How confident are we in Hopkins? Is my question.
Um, I don't know how confident I am with him with Mac Jones, just because Mac Jones as a quarterback is just not good. At least with Tannehill, you've seen flashes of he can be really good when he has the weapons.
AJ
You saw he
Brown.
was with AJ Brown, So now you put him on that team. Now you got yourself some piece. And Tennessee has always not been great, but they've always been good, like in that 11-6, 10-6 range. Like just make the playoffs. So you give him a decent quarterback in Tannehill. Derrick Henry, if he stays, see what happens because this talks about him being moved. And then
Yeah,
you have a veteran DeAndre Hopkins if he stays healthy. I mean, there's good possibilities there, but I don't like him on New England. But we'll see.
yeah. I mean, I guess if I had to pick one for a fantasy aspect, I get the Tennessee one, and I think I lean more Tennessee just because AJ Brown is a pure example of what Tannehill did.
Hmm.
Mac Jones, yeah, I'm more excited about Tennessee, but I still want to be. I don't know where his ADP will be at. I don't know if I'll like it if they have him at the top. I don't know. That's really hard for me. See, how do you feel? Where do you think
Ye-
will be best for fantasy for him?
Fantasy aspect is most definitely Tennessee. Mac Jones is not. We haven't seen a guy, a wide receiver guy, like who is the guy in New England since Tom Brady. And Mac Jones hasn't been able to been even if he's fallen in love with somebody, you'll never know it because he hasn't shown it on the stat sheet. With Tannehill, if he goes over there, Tannehill is gonna get him the ball as many times as you want as a fantasy owner. So there's no hands down for me.
Yeah,
I don't even think it's close
I
that going to Tennessee is
I
and you
think
want to be in a if you want to look at outside of fantasy aspect, you want to go to a more competitive team who can make the playoffs, and that's gonna be Tennessee as well.
Yeah, I mean, the only positive I guess you could say that if he does join New England, they have him, Juju, Parker, Ramondre Stevenson. So there is more weapons than Tennessee. But then again, well, I do agree with what you guys both said. Last bit of news, and then we'll get into it. And this is, I think, is a very important one. Miles Sanders, um, has been talking to the GM from the Panthers and head coach Frank Wright about catching more balls with the Panthers. So there is talks that he could be more involved in the passing game. Now, I think this is huge
Mhm.
information. Obviously, we don't know what they're gonna do, but this is just a lot of hype that's going around. But if this is true, I love Miles Sanders. If this is true,
Mhm.
that's just my opinion. I love it. He was good. He was great with the Eagles. They just didn't pass the ball to him a lot because Jalen Hurts was giving it to everybody else. How do you feel about this Miles Sanders adding catching now, especially in PPR leagues?
Yeah, I like it. Like you said, I'm also high on him. And like you said, on Philly, even on Philly when he was rushing the ball, he was pretty good whenever they handed him off the ball. There was very few games where, he didn't do too much because Jalen Hurts was just taking over, whether it was throwing or with his legs. But now you're in Panthers team with a rookie quarterback, and you're a veteran running back, so he's gonna look for that dump off guy, and you add that to your repertoire of how good you are as a running back. I think I don't know if that affects ADP as much. I think ADP is still gonna be where it's at,
Yeah,
for
I
the
like
most
it.
part, but I like it.
How you feel, see, about him catching balls, especially
Um,
with a new rookie quarterback?
yeah, I love Miles Sanders, especially now that he's out of the Eagles. Love to see it. No, even with the Eagles, I felt strongly about him as a running back and his catching ability. Um, he has that potential. Dare I even say he has that Kamara or Stevenson potential that if you give him enough volume with passes that he can be, and I'm talking about like not skill wise, but I'm talking about fantasy points wise, that
Yeah,
if you give him that enough volume in both the passing and the rushing attempts, he can give you some big points. So
yeah, and
I love
now,
that.
yeah, I totally agree. But now with that, the last bit of news, because I forgot to mention this last one, and then we're moving on. Nick Chubb is also supposed to get involved in the passing game. With Nick Chubb was the number one running back in the first 10 weeks of fantasy football last year, and he barely caught any balls. I don't have the
Yeah.
exact stat, but he barely caught. If you add passing to Nick Chubb, at his ADP, which is maybe a late first, but it's an early second. Sign me up.
That's a steal.
Sign me up for Nick Chubb this year, and they're gonna involve him because remember, Kareem Hunt is gone. This is Nick
Yeah.
Chubb's team. We've been asking for this. You know how many times we talked about last year, guys, about all these running backs that have potential to be like crazy insane. Alexander Madison, Tony Pollard. Always shared. Now all these guys are getting their actual chance to show what we've been waiting for. So very exciting. So Nick Chubb is a huge, huge thing. We'll get more into that when we get into our rankings, which will be our next few episodes. Let's get into it. Let's start off. Let's do the Giants first. Let's be nice because it's always about the Jets right now. Let's start off with the Giants. Let's go through their schedule. I'll write down what they pick. We'll get right into it while C puts it in the screen. Um, this episode is presented by Heaven's Kitchen.
Heaven's
Yeah,
Kitchen is crazy.
Crying.
presented right there. I'm crying, right? I love it. I want to add ads here. All right, let's get right into it. Week one, Giants are home against the Dallas Cowboys.
I'll show you guys this as well. So before we get in, this is the consensus total win odds 8.5, Super Bowl odds plus 5,000,
Yee.
NFC championships plus 2,200, NFC East champions plus 550, and this is last season's record, but that was 9-7-1. That's just some stats here, and then key additions. Darren Waller, Paris Campbell, Jameson Crowder, Bobby Okereke, Deontay Banks, um, John Smith, and Jalen Hyatt. And then we lost Richie James. I believe he went to the I forget where he went. Julian Love and Nick Gates.
Yeah, well, you definitely improved. Definitely improve. As a roster, definitely improve. Let's get into it. Week 1 versus the home against Dallas Cowboys, which is a prime time game. I wish you had the times so we can talk about all the prime times you guys have, but well, it's all right. Prime time against Dallas at home. Dallas favored by 2. If the Giants expect any, um, if they expect any improvement from last year, you have to win your division games. And they only won one division game last year, and they lost both to Dallas, lost both to Philly, won one against Commanders and tied against the Commanders. So Giants are home, week 1. I'm, oh man, it's like I don't
Tough,
I it's
tough.
tough, but I have to assume if the Giants expect to be anything different than what they were last year, they have to win. So I'm gonna give the Giants a win here and have them win week 1 in a very, very close game. And I just think Dable outcoaches Mike McCarthy this time. Chris, who do you think wins?
Yeah, I agree. I was gonna say that the Giants come off straight with a win. I do obviously I think they're gonna split later down the
Yeah.
season, but I think they start off. I mean, like you said, their team definitely improved. Better weapons for Daniel Jones. We're assuming Saquon's gonna come back, and I just don't have so much faith in Dallas and Dak, and he just turns the ball over so much. And the Giants secondary is pretty good, so I'm gonna give dub to the Giants.
Yeah, I believe in Dallas too, but their defense got better too. But yeah,
Yeah,
I see what you mean. I agree. Giants are home. See, pick.
Surprisingly, nah, you already know I'm going my Giants here. We're
All
gonna
right.
be here at home. Listen, I'm gonna say why. Um, I think the improvement rate for both teams. I think Giants, not being biased here. I'm talking about like what we've seen, like inclusions, who we've gotten, who they've gotten. I think the improvement has been to the Giants. Now, do the Giants continue that? What do the Giants do what they did last year? No, I need them to not have close games. This one might be one of those close games
Oh
that
yeah,
we have
division.
this year if we're gonna win it. But we need to stop winning in the fourth quarter and losing in the first, second, and third because they're gonna give me a heart attack. So we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna also give them the W here.
All right, week 2 at Arizona. Um, we didn't talk about this much, but Kyler Murray is expected to be ready for week 1. But they're saying since the team is kind of gonna, they might tank this year. There's a chance that they might just rest him a couple more weeks just to be on the safe side and get him in the middle of the season. I don't know what the deal is, but let's just assume he's Kyler Murray's playing. I think either way with Kyler Murray playing, I think the Giants beat Arizona. I think they're better. I think they're better well coached. I'm gonna have the Giants starting off 2-0.
Yeah, I agree as well. I don't think Arizona, not even a Giants thing. I think Arizona, like you said, will be tanking this year. Nothing too crazy coming from Arizona. The best part of Arizona is Kyler Murray, and
Yeah,
if he's taking another 2 or 3 weeks to start the season, then yeah, I really hope we don't lose that game,
yeah.
because that would be embarrassing. But that being said, yeah, another win to the Giants.
See, Chris.
yeah. I think the Giants go up 2-0,
All
start the
right.
season.
Let's move on. Week 3 at San Francisco 49ers. They're favored by 4.5 as of right now. I have the Giants losing their first game. San Fran, I don't think there's much to say. San Fran's just better. I think even as Sam Darnold at quarterback, Kyle Shanahan's gonna just show people that he's just that much different of a coach. He's gonna make Sam Darnold like a pro. If Brock Purdy isn't playing, um, which he could be back by that time. Either way I think San Fran wins. I think they're just a better all around team. Yeah, so Chris?
Yeah, the thing is a loss as well. I mean, you said it. They're just overall better team. Up and down the board. So you know,
Yeah, I think there's no team in the NFC besides maybe the Eagles who we can really stack up to. I just think the San Fran is that good. Um, and that being said, yeah, the Giants are taking an L here.
Week 4 versus Seattle Seahawks. Um,
This is
there's
the
not
game.
much.
Oof.
Yeah, there's not much that I'm gonna say really. I'll let you guys really speak on it. I have Giants losing to Seattle. I think Seattle improved, and I think they're gonna be they're gonna have a big improvement, even though they made the playoffs with their draft picks because they had a top 10 pick with the Russell Wilson trade. Good trade, by the way. Seattle, I think, is a better team. I think they win in a close match.
Yeah, I think that's a loss as well. I mean, like you said, they did well in the draft. They're already a surprising team last year, and little pieces they added here and there. I think I don't think they're better than the Giants, is my opinion, but I do think that the Giants do lose this game.
How about you,
Yeah,
Chris?
yeah, I'm gonna have the Giants 3-1 here. This is
Okay.
where I am a little biased. If we're gonna have a coin toss of a game, I'm gonna go for my team. I think that they have the team to beat Seattle. It's not like it's oh, are we gonna have Seattle has an advantage here there? No, especially if Saquon Barkley is still here, which we're all assuming he's still here. I think team wise, this could be another close battle between two close teams, and I think the Giants get the revenge from last year's L. So
Okay.
this year.
Um. So far the only difference right now is you. Me and Chris are 2-2, and you are 3-1. Week 5, they on the road to Miami. Miami last year was a great home team. Tyreek Hill and Waddle just ran it, which is always open. They broke records. They went crazy. I have the Giants losing again to Miami, so I have them at 2-3. Chris.
Yeah, I have a loss here as well. I think Miami's a great team, like I already said earlier, and as long as Tua keeps his fingers straight and he's not glitching on the field, I think Miami's going to be a great team.
What can you say so? You don't say that.
What he said?
He said as long as Tua keeps his fingers straight, then
Oh no. Hey.
Ew, that's
Oh
funny.
man.
Well,
No.
I agree with Christian. If those fingers are straight by week 5, then Miami. I don't think the Giants have. There's no scheme the Giants can make up. I love our defensive coordinator, but he was able to do it with Jetta. But if there was 2 Jettas on the Vikings, we were losing that game,
Yeah.
and they have 2 Jettas.
They're,
So
they're the fastest team.
exactly. So I just you could probably kill Hill for the game, but Waddle's gonna take over. You could probably kill Waddle for the game, but Tyrese, I don't. That's if Tua makes it to week 5, because with his history.
Yeah,
But
that's the big if for Miami. If Tua stays healthy, they're gonna have a really good season.
oh yeah,
But that's if, and that's probably not in that sense. But that probably will be Giants' game plan is to get to the quarterback. Bang him up a little bit, get him out of his comfort zone. So
do your thing,
um,
Thibodeau.
yeah,
Nah, but
but
yeah, I have him taking the L here as well.
all right. So let's move on. Uh, Week 6 at Buffalo Bills. Buffalo a favorite to win by 7. I also choose Buffalo. I also choose Buffalo to win this game as well. Nothing more than I would love for the Giants to beat my division. I just don't think they're ready yet to beat those 2 powerhouse teams. So I have Buffalo winning this game, and I have the Giants at 2-4.
Yeah, I agree. I think Buffalo's just a different animal. I mean, even with Josh Allen's just history of just turning the ball over. I mean, he's before he turns the ball over 4 times, he's gonna throw 4 touchdowns and 400 yards. So I mean, it's like not really much you can do to stop Josh Allen, and I don't think the Giants can stop him. So
Yeah, I agree. Allen, I had Allen on fantasy last year, and his stat sheet would say 3 or 4 interceptions, but he still had 20 plus points. So I don't really know how he does it. But Buffalo has had a history of having trap games, and I'm hopeful that this is a trap game. But for logical sense, I'm gonna give the Giants an L here. But you never know.
Yeah, listen, no, remember, this is Brian Dable was his offensive coordinator. So if
That's
anybody
true.
knows Josh Allen best, it was Brian
That is
Dable.
true, and I didn't even think about that. Brian Dable was going back to he might even give his defensive coordinator some notes before the
Yeah,
game,
he
so you
might.
never know.
He definitely knows, and Josh Allen's best season with the turnovers was with Brian Dable. So Brian Dable knows, like, look, this is what this guy does when he's not turning the ball over. So he may get some stuff there. I just think on paper, Buffalo's better. Week 7, I finally have the Giants out of this 4-game losing streak, and they finally win. On my books, they're home against Washington. They beat them last year. I think they're better this year, and they're home. So I got Giants winning. I go have them going 3-4.
Yeah, I agree. Facing Washington Commanders, they're the weakest link in our division, honestly, in a very good division supposedly that we're in. We're supposed to still be the NFC beast with whatever people are saying. So the weakest link in the division is this. I don't really see the Commanders coming to New York and taking us out. I mean, I did see, physically them coming to New York and tying the game, but
Yeah,
I don't see them coming into this doing that this year. I actually think they take the L here. So
I feel Chris.
Yeah, I agree. Even though I think the Commanders did get a little better, and halfway through the season, they started to look more alive.
Yeah.
They were putting up some good competition. But yeah, they're definitely on the bottom of the totem pole in that division. So I think it's a win for the Giants there.
All right, week 8. This is where they get pummeled, stomped
Pummeled
on,
is
spit
crazy.
on, crapped on. They get rolled.
Pummeled is
They
crazy.
get freaking dismantled. Week
Oh,
8 against
shot.
my New York Jets. I have the Jets winning. They should be favored by 15,000. Let's go, baby. I got the Jets winning. I have the Giants at 3-5.
I'm sorry, Jay,
Yeah.
but that's New York Jets. It's not 15, it's negative 1.5. So they think it's a lot closer than what you think.
Just
I will
you
also
gave
give the
much.
Jets this W though, because I don't think the
No,
Giants.
go against me. Go against me.
You know what?
Go,
I'll give the Giants the W there because
go
I'm not
against me.
gonna.
Go out there.
I'm gonna be saying I'm coming into this mindset like we're gonna go and the Giants are home. The Giants are home,
Really?
so we have
Really?
an advantage.
Really? Okay.
When
You got it. Sure.
the Giants are home, so we have
All
home
right.
field. The
Yeah.
stadium's gonna be blue, so that's what the advantage is gonna
100%.
be. So
100%.
I'm gonna take them there.
When they play each other, they should split the field green and blue.
No,
That'd be
they don't
perfect.
do that. They keep it like regular, bro. It's gonna be
Yeah.
all
What
blue.
they do is they have the team that's gonna lose be the home team, so it looks
Oh, this is what
nice.
they do.
So yeah, Chris, who you got winning?
Yeah. No, I got the Jets winning as well. I think it's gonna be exciting. We haven't seen a
Every
4
4
Jets and
years.
years,
Giants game
man.
in a couple years.
4 years,
It's
man.
every
Every
4
4
years, man.
years.
Only 4.
Yeah, so but it's gonna be exciting. Even though I'm not a fan of neither, but that's definitely a game I'm gonna mark
But it's all
on
right.
my
Your wife's a
calendar.
Jet fan, so you have some Jet in you. That's it. You have a
Mm,
sprinkle. You have a tad, a little
Christian,
sprinkle.
rebuke that
You have a
in the
sprinkle. It's all
name
right.
Well,
of
I
NFL.
think the Jets are gonna win, but I want them to lose just so I can laugh in my face all day.
Oh, word. Oh, we got a
Oh,
hater. Oh, we got
clip
a
it,
hater. Look at
clip
this
it,
guy.
clip it, clip it.
We sending that to her. Clip it. We sending that to her. JJ, you better get on it. Which, by the way, I'll start here. Give him a little shout out. We have someone new in the show who's gonna be controlling all of our clips, doing all the media stuff. JJ, Jeremiah, welcome to the team. Let's move on. Week 9. Week 9, Giants at Las Vegas. The Raiders. This is a toughie just because I don't know about Jimmy G's situation. I don't really know if he's healthy or not.
Giants have a
So
lot of return games. We got Waller coming back to Las Vegas. We got
yeah, so
Dable coming back to Buffalo. It's
so
crazy.
I think they're gonna bounce back after getting smacked up the week before. I think they're gonna bounce back and they're gonna win. So I have the Giants winning this game against the Las Vegas Raiders. Wow, Las Vegas Raiders. Chris, who do you pick? Because holy, that was bad.
Yeah, I got the Giants winning that one as well. That's all I gotta say. Like Chris,
That's all you gotta say.
I just there's not much to say about the Raiders. It's hard.
I think Giants are better. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Giants
and
are better.
besides Avante Adams and if Josh Jacobs stays, I mean, there's not really much to talk about the Raiders. I mean, you've seen them have lead after lead after lead and just blow it, and their defense is just not good, and their offense is not any better. So I mean, there's nothing to say there.
Yo, big news. Garoppolo goes to Las Vegas. Nobody really cares about that. Las Vegas is gonna take an L here. The Giants are gonna go to Las Vegas, and I really don't think Las Vegas has what it takes.
Wow, that couldn't be any
Um,
funnier. Oh,
so yeah, I'm gonna give my Giants a W there as well.
oh my God. All right, let's go on. We said this earlier. Me and Chris already agreed. So we both have the Giants losing this game on the road to Dallas. I think they're gonna split. So I know Chris said the same thing for the same reasons. We just think Dallas is gonna split. Chris, what is your C, what is your actual pick on this game against Dallas on the road?
100%. I mean, Dallas have had our number for years. If we get that one win in week one, I'll be happy. Week 10 is gonna be. If we don't win week one, I just don't. You can't. I don't believe we go to Dallas and win. I know. I really don't. It'll be a very big surprise to me. But they take a
Yeah,
L
if you
here
guys
for me.
sweep them, that'll be surprising.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That
We're
would
going
be
to the
very
Super Bowl. We're going
surprising.
to Super Bowl if we sweep them. That's some consistency.
Week 11, Giants, another division, back-to-back division games. They go on the road to Washington. Um, I actually have the Giants sweeping Washington this year, and it's actually surprising because I love the Eric Bieniemy pickup on offense from the Chiefs. I love that he's in control. I think he's gonna make that team really good. But I just think if the Giants are gonna supposed to show this improvement, you can't you have to sweep Washington. You have any
Mhm.
chance with this tough schedule, you need to sweep Washington. So I have them sweeping Washington just for that reason. Chris, who
Yeah.
do you have winning this game?
No, I have them splitting against Washington.
Okay.
Just for reasons that I said earlier about
Yep.
Washington, I do think they got a little better. They split with them last season. And
Oh, they
I
tied.
just
No, they
oh they
kind
tied.
of
Oh, they
they
tied in one of them. Right,
technically
right.
it was a loss for them. The Giants were better record
Yeah.
to there's a tie and an L they have against the Giants. So
Okay. I mean, yeah, but I see them splitting though with Washington. I don't think Washington's as bad as people think. I think Washington
I don't
is
know. I
a fairly good team, but
fantasy
yeah,
wise,
and it's at home
I
as
love
well.
Terry McLaurin fantasy
Yeah.
wise this year with Eric Bieniemy and the new quarterback. I love them, but I just think if Dable is what we think he is as a coach and what
Mhm.
his team is, I think they sweep him. But I do understand where you're coming from. I think Washington is very underrated. See, who do you have winning this game?
I'm thinking more of necessity. Now the Giants have a schedule this year that's not last year's schedule. We have a tougher schedule this year. We have a lot of tougher opponents. And the Giants are better than Washington in my eyes, and in a lot of people's eyes, I believe. I would hope so. The Giants are better than Washington, and if they're going to get to the playoffs again, which is the goal, because now they've set the standard last year, they set the bar. So the goal is to make it to um the playoffs. You have to win the games you're supposed to win, and beating the Commanders, I believe, are two games that they're supposed to win this year. So I'm gonna also have them sweeping. Even here they have the odds with Commanders. A lot of people, consensus is agreeing with Christian, but
Okay.
I really believe that the Giants need to win the games that they're supposed to win, and I believe the Commanders are two games that they're supposed to win. So I'll have them winning here as well.
All right, let's move on. Speed through. Giants at New England. Giants clearly always have New England's number. I don't know how, but
In the
they do.
postseason, though, I don't know.
I mean, they should teach the Jets a couple things on how to get New England's number. Honestly, I have the Giants winning. I think Giants are better on paper. As of right now, if New England was to get Hopkins and Cooks after this episode, I'll probably pick New England. But as of right now, I have the Giants winning against New England. Chris, who do you have?
Yeah, I also got the Giants going, uh, and beating New England as well. I mean, I think depending on what happens the rest of the offseason, see if D Hop lands there, see what they can do with them. Then, but as of right now, yeah, I see Giants getting a dub here.
All right, what about you, see?
Yeah, that's why I agree with both of you. Not much to say. The Giants are a better team on paper, and that's pretty much it. Dable's facing a team he's faced before twice,
Yeah.
so he should know this defense already. So we'll
Yes,
see.
sir. Right now, we're on the bye week. As of right now, according to me, they are 6-6. Chris, they are 5-7. And C, the Giant fan, has them at 8-4. So, C, quickly give me your quickest answer. How will you feel if they are 6-6 or 5-7 on the bye week?
Looking at the rest of the schedule, not too great. Because it's not, I can see maybe one, maybe two W's here, but it'll be tough. So we need to fix that and fix it
It
quick.
definitely wouldn't be great going into the bye week after the season you guys had. Let's go to week 14. Giants against Green Bay. I think Green Bay is another team that's very underrated, but I will give the Giants the W. They are home. They beat Green Bay last year with Aaron Rodgers, and they're not going to beat Aaron Rodgers 2 years in a row. So they're going to beat Green Bay again. So they'll beat Green Bay 2 years in a row. I have the Giants winning and beating Green Bay. Chris, who do you have winning this game?
Yeah, I also have them beating Green Bay just for the reasons you said. I mean, they beat Aaron Rodgers last year. So they go up against Jordan Love, his first season starting. It's gonna be exciting, but I think the Giants do have their number though.
See,
Yeah, so I think the Giants as well will be winning. Technically, they were home last year, but they weren't really home. But the Giants are home this year, so I believe that that's gonna give them even an extra advantage. So we'll see that.
all right, week 15, Giants at the Saints. The big thing for me is the road game. I think the Giants were home. I would pick the Giants, but the Saints have Derek Carr. They have a new vamped offense. They have a new system. They have a new. It's a new area now. Derek Carr is in town. I think the Saints are very underrated. I think Alvin Kamara is back by then. We still don't know about what's going on with his case. He might be back, or if he gets suspended, it'll probably be for the first 6 weeks, anyways. So surprisingly, I have the Giants losing to the Saints, and that's because they're on the road. But that's my pick. Chris, what do you have?
Yeah, I have them losing as well. Um, like you said, they're just a better improved team. You have Chris Olave. Who knows what's happening with Michael Thomas, but if he's healthy, I mean, Mike Thomas, you have a better quarterback. Just a better situation all around. So I think they get the loss that week.
See,
Yeah, this is one of the last 5 games that I believe the Giants will win. I just don't think that the New Orleans. I go by what is and what not what could be. And I don't really see. I don't know what the Saints could be yet. So I'm going by what is. Yes, they have their car. They have a revamp. Listen, I have to see it first to believe it. So I've seen the
you've seen
improvement with
Derek
the
Carr.
Giants.
You know Derek Carr's a bum.
I
Is
know
he
he's
better
not a
than
bum.
Winston and who the heck was the other quarterback? Andy
Dalton.
Dalton. Is he better than both of them? I think by a landslide, he's better than both of them. I mean
Yeah,
that is proven, but I get what you're saying.
until
You
I
know,
see it, I don't believe it. So I
yeah,
give my
Giant fans
Giants a
will keep
W.
going back and forth. Week 16
We're doing Jets
at
next, so I'm gonna be coming at you the same way. So stop.
uh, week 16 at Philadelphia. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. You guys lose both games to Philly.
Oh yeah, we could do
I
skip both of those. We don't
I
even have to.
I
Christian, you don't
have
have to go.
I
Jacob would
have
go.
them.
Nah, man.
Week
I think they win
17.
both games, bro.
Week 17, we face Los Angeles Rams. Let's just talk about that one.
Okay, week
I think they lose
16.
that one too.
Week 16, they lose to the Eagles. Let me get this down so I know what I'm doing. They'll be 7-9 on my book. Okay.
At least you have a
Chris,
chance against everyone in your
Chris, tell me
division.
who wins against the Rams so I could do this real quick.
I
Rams and
think
Giants.
the Rams take that one. Assuming um that what's his name? I don't even know. He hasn't played all year.
Matthew Stafford.
Oh, yeah, Matthew Stafford. There you go. Assuming he's healthy, the whole season. Things undoubtedly you can't count him and Cooper Cup out. I mean, them together is just like lightning in a bottle. So, um, yeah, I say that the Rams probably get the win there.
Um, I'm gonna pick the Giants, just because of the injury that happened last year with the Rams. We know what the Rams were when they won the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and we know what they were last year when they had injuries. And now they lost Jalen Ramsey. He got traded to Miami. They lost pieces. I think right now on paper, I think Giants will beat the Rams. They are home, and with the stretch that they're having, they're gonna have to beat the Rams anyways, closing in on Philadelphia. So I have them winning. See, what do you have them doing against the Rams?
So annoying. We get Philly the last 3 weeks. The Rams, I think that last 3 weeks, if games really matter for the Giants, because I think,
They're gonna put all their effort into that Rams game.
yeah, the Giants, if they're in a situation where they're in must wins, to make the playoffs, this is the must win. This is the do or die games because the Eagles are uphill battle. So I think this is the one game in the last 3 that it's just a must win. So I'm gonna give the Giants as well.
All right, so while you get into the Jet schedule, I will review how we have our predictions for this season. I have them finishing 8-9, which in that NFC, they could probably get the last spot of the wild card with how bad the NFC is. Yeah, if they're 8-9 on my side, like if I have them 8-9, they could easily go 9-8. They could easily go 10, 10-7, or they could go lose a game or two or lose another game. They could go 7-10. It could switch because these games they're gonna win games that we don't expect them to win, and they might lose a game that we expect them to win. But I have them finishing 8-9, so I do think that still makes them hit the playoffs. Maybe, Chris. I gotta say, man, if you don't think the Giants got look better, you have them finishing 6-11. I don't know if I agree with that. I think if the Giants finish 6-11, there's big changes. I think the Danny Jones deal will get spoken about all year round if they go 6-11. I think
100%.
that'll be the biggest topic. I hope. I mean, for a football and a football perspective, I don't think the Giants are gonna. I don't hope they end up like that, but it would be kind of crazy to see if they did end 6-11. C, you have your Giants going 11-6. I do think there's a lot of bias in there. 11-6. I don't know, man, but that's where you have them finishing.
Yes.
So 8-9, 6-11, and 11-6. You and Chris are the exact opposite. Every win you gave them, he gave them a loss. It looks like.
Consensus and just so we know, consensus is having them at 7-10. So that's
Wow, so I'm
consensus.
the closest, and I didn't even know that.
Consensus. So,
But that's still a downgrade from last year,
Yeah,
and
it
they
is.
have a tougher
It is.
schedule. If they
get
don't make
another
the
tie. Maybe
playoffs,
that'll help.
yeah, maybe it will help. Let's move on. Let's try our best to get through this Jet schedule as we can, how we get through it. Week 1, Jets against the Bills, which is insane. And I didn't even tell you guys this. I'm going to that game. I already got it. I already bought my tickets.
Love to
I'm
see
going
it.
to that
Oh,
game.
man,
Monday
you're
Night Football.
crazy.
I am crazy. I bought them, and
Gotta do what you gotta do.
I called my dad. I said, Dad, what are we doing for Monday night for the Bills? Are we gonna watch in your house? He's like, I don't know. And then I just sent him the picture of the tickets. Like, what is this? I'm like, I know where we're going. I know what we're gonna do that day. And
Love
he's
to
like,
see
you
it.
lying. I'm like, Dad, you too old to you have been depressed for so long with this team. Let's go to this game.
So
So
why
now,
would you make it more depressed?
No
no,
shot. He's
stop
winning
it.
this.
Stop
They
it.
gotta win
Nah,
now. We
listen,
gotta give him
it's
this W,
it's
bro.
Bro,
it's
I
9-11. It's not.
that's
It's
crazy.
9-11. Jets Monday Night Football,
Home.
and it's gonna be insane. I'm gonna have to buy binoculars 100% because I'm gonna be up in the sky. But I am gonna
Worth
be
it.
there. I'm gonna be there with the crowd. So I'm gonna give my Jets a 1-0 on the road, at home against the disgusting, filthy New York pretender Buffalo Bills. Chris, what do you got?
I mean, I wish I would have a different answer for you because
Go
it's going
ahead,
to
go
be
ahead, go
But,
ahead,
I,
go
but, I,
ahead.
but I've been saying this all on since the schedule came out. I think it's gonna be a rough game. I mean, it's the first game of the season for you. With a new team. And
Hmm.
not saying that I do believe the Jets are gonna be really really good this year. I've said it for a while,
You said
but
something about the
I mean,
Giants.
I'm
I
not.
said they got
I'm not.
better, but I never said that they were like.
Get, re- get ready for
I
11
mean,
and 6, for
it's
6 and
Daniel
11,
Jones.
bro.
Going 6-11.
How can you say Daniel Jones is going 11-6? I don't understand it, but
I can say it, bro.
okay.
I can say it, bro.
I can see Aaron Rodgers going 11-6.
Say it again.
But yeah,
Say it again.
I don't know. I'll see you after the schedule. But
Oh man.
yeah, sadly, you know what? I'm gonna change my answer just because you're going to the game. If you wasn't going to the game, I would say they lose.
Oh, you know what? I just
But
loved you a little bit more today.
I'll do 1-0.
All right. You
But don't come calling me
just do me a favor.
crying when they
Can you
lose.
just give me the loss when we go face Buffalo? Like, why we can't just win today? Like, win the week 1, and then we'll lose against someone when they're at home. Just give me
I
that.
don't know. It's tough. It's the first game of the
Tough.
season. New
It is
team.
All
tough.
right. No, 100%. No,
But
all jokes aside, yes, that's gonna be a tough game. There's a possibility we do lose. But I want it to be a battle. One thing I want to see, I don't want to see a blowout. If the Bills come into Jet Stadium and embarrass us, then it's a problem. If we go and we lose to a game,
if you guys lose by a field goal, I think it's good.
I think I'll leave with expectations like this team is gonna get
At least you
better.
didn't go to a game and it was a tie.
All right, come on, let's speed through this. Sorry, I get emotional. Chris, C, who you got winning?
I got the Bills. They have the same team as last year, in my opinion. They got what, maybe a 2% better. I really don't know what they got. Richie, they're the team that got Richie James. I think.
You.
I don't know. I really don't know what other big thing they got, but yeah, I got the Jets. They split with the Jets last year with no quarterback, so I think the Jets come in here and win them.
Oh, I thought you said the Bills win. You said Bills win.
Yeah, no, the Jets. I got the Jets winning.
I could have sworn I heard Bills. My bad.
No.
All right, week 2. Again at Dallas. This is gonna be another. The Jets' first 6 games are gonna be tough.
Oh yeah.
Um.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, it's
The
really hard.
schedules are crazy.
Listen, I'm
I-
a big Jets fan this year. You guys facing
Shut
my
up! Shut up!
division.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up.
You got 3 Dallas.
You know what? I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be as serious as I could be. I have the Jets losing against Dallas on the road. I think after an emotional 9-11 win, they go into Dallas Stadium and
You
they
think they're gonna
probably
cry after this win, bro? Get out of here,
they
bro.
are emotional. 9/11 is emotional. That's still serious.
Not for
Man.
9/11. I'm starting thinking like, oh, they won. Now they going through it.
Listen, I don't know. I just can't. I can't see the Jets going 3-0 because I have them being the Patriots. So I'm gonna just say the Jets lose one of these 3 games, and I'm gonna give it to the Cowboys. Chris, what you got?
I think the Jets win. Listen, if the Jets go into week 1 and beat the Bills, I think they can go. Even though it's at home, I think they can go and beat the. If I have the Giants winning 1 game against the Cowboys, I think I got the Jets beating the Cowboys. So I'm gonna give them 2-0.
Bro, I said this. I'm gonna say the same thing. Y'all both said the Giants have a chance or need to or can win that first game against the Cowboys. So if Jay later on in my schedule tells me that the Jets are gonna wax the Giants, how are the Jets waxing the Giants when the Giants beat the Cowboys, but you can't beat the Cowboys? So you got to do the math. You were good
No,
at math, right? You
time
told me you was good at math in school.
Time out,
So if
time
you
out.
do the equation,
You never,
the Jets should be better
count.
than the
You
Cowboys.
never count division games.
All right, fine.
Never. All right,
Fine,
never.
fine. But
Never.
I'll say on paper the Jets are better than the Cowboys, so I'll give it to the Jets.
All right. Week. What did I just do? Okay.
3.
Week 3, I have the Jets going at the Patriots. I have the Jets finally, after 15 years or whatever the freak it's been, we finally beat this stupid team, and I hope we pummel them. I hope we crush them. I hope we stomp on their face. I hope we eat mac and cheeses after the game is over. I have the Jets winning. Week 3. Chris, you go. I don't want to talk about this team no more.
Yeah, yeah. I got the Jets winning that one as well.
All right. See.
I
Yeah,
have them
ruined my
winning
day.
as well.
Oh, wow, you said-
Consensus.
wow,
Hey,
yeah, boy.
consensus has them actually sweeping them. So
Say consensus one more time.
hey,
Yeah, all
you got to look at what the notes are. You got to see
All right.
what they're saying.
Week 4, another game that I'm hoping I plan to go because I need to see Mahomes against Rodgers. Even if the Jets, which I do have the Jets losing, I just want to see a showdown. I want to see something special. But Sunday Night Football, Jets on the road. I mean, Jets are home, but I think Chiefs are just better. They're Super Bowl champs, so I have them losing.
Yeah, definitely. I have them. I mean, like I said, you're going against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I mean, nothing to say there. Anybody who, even someone who doesn't watch football, knows who the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes are. So I mean, I have them losing that game too.
All right.
Yeah, that's the L for me. It's gonna be Aaron
Okay.
Rodgers' biggest
Week
competition there.
yes, week 5 on the road against the Broncos. We beat the terrible Denver Broncos. Let's ride bums last year. Listen, Broncos are going to be better 100%. There's no way they could be worse. It's just how much better they're going to be. Is Sean Payton going to have Russell Wilson back at his max potential? We're going to find out. But based off last year, I have the Jets winning. There's not much I can say with that team. I have the Jets winning on the road.
I have the Jets winning as well.
Yeah, like I said, what could be and what we see. We've seen this let's ride, let's die, and we don't know what they could be yet. So I see the Jets pummeling the Broncos actually.
Week 6 against the Philadelphia Eagles. Call me crazy. I have the Eagles losing this game because the Jets have never beaten the Eagles in forever. And I think Rodgers is coming to break curses. Rodgers is coming to make the Jets look like a team again. So you guys are not going to agree, but I have the Jets winning against the Philadelphia Eagles before their bye week.
Don't say you guys. I'm going for the Jets too. The Jets are winning this game.
Oh,
All right.
God, this
You think
giant-
I'm gonna go with the Eagles? I don't care if the Eagles have every all-star player in their team, which they look like they do this year, but I'm going for the Jets. All right. The Jets are gonna be winning this game.
All
It's -1 for the Eagles,
You don't know what
which
Chris is
I
doing.
really think is gonna be. Listen, if the Jets improved on what they needed to improve on, which is the run game, then I think that they have a chance here because I think that they can stop this passing game of the Eagles. I really do. I really have
Okay.
If there's any defense that can do it, I think the Jets are one of those defenses.
Chris, just say it and we can move on. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jets losing into the bye week. Coming out the bye week, I said this already. Jets are gonna come in, smack this team
Yeah,
around.
we don't gotta go over this
Eh,
one. It's basically,
No, Chris has
yeah.
them winning.
I do. I
C has
do.
them winning. Chris has them losing. So I mean the Jets winning. So right now, before the bye, well, after this bye week game, I usually do it right at the bye week. I forgot how early the Jets have it. You have the Jets losing. So right now, after all our disagreements, for the most part with me, because I'm very picky, we're all at 5-2 after the Giants game. We all have 5-2. So let's move on. Week 9, another Monday night game to a Chargers game, which by the way, the tickets aren't that expensive for that game. Let's go, guys. We got to go as a podcast. Let's go. Monday Night Football, Justin Herbert,
Yeah.
LA.
Nobody really cares about the Chargers. 'Cause they
I'm
all
hoping to
go
go to
for.
all the. I'm really trying to go as
The
much as I can.
The Chargers fans don't care about the Chargers.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
We can all go and JETS all the way because I
Let's
really
go,
don't really
baby.
care about this team.
I have the Jets being the Chargers. Chargers are a good team.
Yeah.
I've been picking this team to be the Super Bowl winners, MVP Herbert. They might do it this year since I'm not picking them. But as of right now, I picked the Jets. Chris?
Yeah, I have the Jets winning as well.
Chargers have been favorites for a lot of things, and they haven't lived up to their favoritism. So the Chargers, until they do, the Jets are gonna win this game.
Okay, week 10 against the Raiders. I think this is a trap game. But if I have to pick on paper, I will pick Rodgers versus Adams. I will pick Rodgers. I do think this could be a very trappable game for this team, so they better not lose this game. But I have them winning on paper, 7-2 against the Raiders.
I agree. I also have them winning.
Yeah, that one's I think everyone's in agreement
No
there.
So
brainer.
far, we are exactly alike. At the Bills, I think we can all agree that they don't sweep the Bills, so we
Mhm.
can fly through that one. Week 12, Black Friday, first Black Friday primetime game ever in NFL. This is gonna be a crazy game against the Dolphins. I think the Jets also split against Dolphins, so I think they win the home game. So I have the Jets winning. I don't know about you guys. Chris, tell me what you got.
I think they split as well, and I think they win this game. Yeah, definitely at home.
Yeah, it's a split for me as well. And I said that before even the podcast. I told you I said the Jets can split with every one of every one of their division rivals, except the Patriots. I think they can sweep the Patriots. but-
I hope so. They should let out their anger this year and sweep that stupid team. Let's move on. Week 13 to the Falcons. I have the Jets winning against the Falcons, who also is another team that I do think people are very undermining and underrating. But well, I would say the Jets are just a better team as of right now. I have them being the Falcons.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Even though I think the Falcons, again have improved a little bit, and they're coming in, putting their second year quarterback in, so I think they got a little better, but not good enough to beat the Jets. And at this point, they're gonna be hot. At this point, their chemistry's gonna be there. Hopefully, Aaron Rodgers has MVP form. For your sake, I mean, not for the rest of the league, but yeah. So
Oh, the league don't want Rodgers to be MVP because then you're really talking about Super Bowl. With that defense, you want Rodgers to be average at best. But yeah, see, I know you have them winning another
Oh, yeah.
game. We
Both
should
of
go to.
these next-
We should just watch that game.
100%.
Week 14 against the Texans. I have even with the new team, I have the Jets winning. I think
Mhm.
Houston is new quarterback rebuild. I have them winning. I have not
Again.
much to say.
Texans
Yeah.
getting smacked here.
yeah, it's a very exciting game because, side note, I am taking my wife to that game because it's the day after her birthday. So
Oh, let's go, baby. Go cheer
I
for
hope
my
they win.
Jets.
I ain't
I
gonna say
got
what
you.
I'm waiting for them to lose, but
This is the perfect game to take it to. I'll tell you right now, because they're gonna
That's
swap
why.
this team, bro.
What, you know how cheap the tickets? Oh my god!
I am gonna.
That's how you know
I'm
it's
gonna
gonna
get
be.
you a Jet jersey, bro. I got you.
I am not gonna wear it. I promise.
You're not gonna wear
Oh,
it?
child. I'll give you an arm sleeve.
I'll use it. I use it to take a
I'll
shower.
just give you a regular
Oh,
green
this guy's
shirt.
so ugly. All right, so we will have them winning against Texas. We all agree that they split against the Dolphins, so we're gonna skip right by that. Right now, we're all exactly the same, 10-4, which is funny because I didn't have them winning the exact games you had them winning, but I didn't have them losing. It's pretty interesting. But
Yeah.
right now, we're all at 10-4. Week 16 versus the Commanders. I think they're just better. I have them winning against the
Mhm.
Commanders.
Better.
I
How about
agree.
you, Chris? You
I
agree?
agree. Yeah.
Yeah, you beating my whole division. I told you.
All right, week 17
Besides
at
the
the
Giants.
Browns, Thursday night
I think they
football.
lose this game.
That's
Another
very
game we should. No, let me say.
that no. That, I mean, I'm down. That's another game. That is a very trappable game right there.
Yeah, I think
But I just think on paper they're just better, so that's what I'm gonna have to go with. But that is a game they could lose and get
yeah,
trapped on.
I think it's a loss, and I agree. I think it's a trap game. We don't know how Deshaun Watson's gonna come back. He could
Yep,
just,
you're
I
right.
mean,
Yeah.
he didn't play a full season. That only played 6 games, so you can't really base his
Hold
stats
on,
from
I'm
last
about to
year.
put a C. If
And
we didn't see it, I'm not gonna believe it.
Exactly. Forget about it. Listen, if you just put a massage table right next to the goalpost, I think that'll distract
my
Deshaun Watson
God.
enough, and y'all win that game. I think that's the game plan.
No, I
But
think you're wrong. If you put a massage table there, he's gonna get superpowers, bro.
Oh no, shot! You're right. Right, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
bro,
I was gonna
chill.
say, bro, no shot.
All
The
right.
Jets win this game.
And to finish out week 18, I hope this team is nowhere
Sweep.
near involving the playoffs. I hope we still crush them. I have the Jets winning. Chris, do you have the Jets splitting or you have the Jets winning this game?
I have them splitting just because I think at this point, I think the Jets have already secured the division. So if they plan on
Whoa.
resting or something, I think that's how I feel. I mean, what is my record on paper? What is it like?
So on record, they're 11-6. You think that wins the division? The Bills won, I believe, 13 games or 12.
No, last year did they? They went 11-6. The Bills last
See,
year.
confirm with me right now where they finished at, because I know you have the Jets sweeping them. So I'm gonna go over where we have the Jets finished at. Me and C are exactly alike. We have the Jets finishing 13-4. That I believe wins the division if they are 13-4.
Mhm.
Chris, you have them finishing 11-6. I will take that all day because that means we're in the playoffs. Even if we don't make it,
Bills were 11-6 last year, but
they
didn't they
were
have?
no,
Yeah,
no. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, they were
yeah. I'm telling you,
so
they started off hot, then they started, dropping off
mediocre.
a little bit. But
Yeah,
I think that, like I said, I think if they go 13-4, like y'all say, definitely enough to win the
No,
division.
Chris.
So
You looked up the wrong year. I got it. They
the
finished
2020.
13-3.
2022.
They finished
did they
13
really?
and
Oh,
3.
they actually had the one less game than everybody too, though.
Yeah, but they finished
And
13
that,
and 3. So
even with that one less game, that's
Okay.
crazy.
they finished
Well, yeah.
13 and 3.
Well,
So
I
let's
think
just
I
say
think if they have a big lead and they have the division secured, I think this game means nothing. So if they lose it, whatever.
Listen,
But
I don't
I mean,
think. I think the
still
Jets are gonna
maybe
have
they'll
something to
win.
fight for.
wait, but Chris, you think the Jets need 11 wins to win the division? With this tough division, you think 11 wins it? I don't. I think 13. I think where I have them and see, yeah, they win the division.
No, yeah,
But
where you guys
I
have them,
think where
yeah,
you have
yeah.
them, which I'm fine with too. I think you have them not winning the division, but in the playoffs, which you
Yeah.
gotta take them. But that's where we have them finished at, and I'm not.
And I know Jay loves this. Consensus is 11-6.
Wow,
So
Chris, right
That's a
on
good.
the
That's a good.
money.
that's
Right on the
consensus.
money. Listen, you cannot be a playoff team. There's no way. If you're a playoff team, this is gonna be the biggest disappointment. It's gonna be worse. It may not be worse than Brooklyn Nets, but it's gonna be right there with what the Brooklyn Nets did and what the Mets
Oh
did.
yeah,
What's
for
going on with the
sure.
season with the Mets?
For
The
sure.
Mets, Nets, and I hope not the Jets do not have that season because those all rhyme. But just to recap quickly, the Giants, I had them finishing 8-9, which looks like they could get wild card. Chris has them finishing at 6-11, which is a terrible season, and C has them finishing 11-6. So that is the Jets. We have me and C are 13-4. Chris is 11-6 with the Jets picks this year. That is our picks. Chris, you can make this full screen so we can end the show. We thank everybody for listening. Our next episode will be our top 10 QB rankings for fantasy. We will have our show rankings. We will combine our averages picks. We'll go why we have this person at 1, at 3, at 4. So we will talk about fantasy coming up. Hopefully, by the time we get back into the next episode, Dalvin Cook is a Jet, so we can have some excitement. If not, we'll still be waiting to see where he goes and DeAndre Hopkins. So as for J, C, and Chris and Jacob and the whole podcast and everybody and Angel,
And Angel, yeah.
we want to say goodbye. See you guys next episode. Bye. Say bye, Bugger.
Say bye.
Don't